Hello, Year 2. Thank you so much for all of the ideas you've been sharing with me on Class Dojo so far this week. I'm really delighted that you've been enjoying the story of Perdu. In this video clip, we are going to start looking at writing the story, and we're going to rewrite the story from Perdu's perspective. What I'd like you to do in your journal is draw a line down the middle of the page. I've attached on Class Dojo some pictures for you to cut and stick. So I'd like you to cut out the picture that goes with plot point 1, this one here. And then I would like you to draw for me 3 boxes. This box here is the plot point. That's what's happening at this point in the story. Here is some key vocabulary for you. And here are the objectives that we're going to include in our first 3 sentences. Thank you very much for Tabitha, who shared with me this idea for the plot point. She thought the reason that Perdu was alone and lost at the beginning was because his owner had too many dogs and had made Perdu leave home. So here Perdu is, all on his own, in the dark, stormy night, looking for somewhere to go. So my first sentence, I'm going to be demonstrating show, not tell. So we already know that show, not tell is when we want to show the reader how a character is feeling, rather than simply saying Perdu was tired, Perdu was scared. Now we know at the beginning of the story that Perdu was feeling very, very sad and very lonely. So I'm going to show that by saying what Perdu was doing that would convey his feelings of sadness and loneliness. So, for example, and remember, I'm telling the story from Perdu's perspective. So I might write, I walked along the riverbank with my tail drooping low and my head bowed against the wind. So here I'm writing as if I am Perdu and I'm telling my story about how I came to find a home. So I'm not saying I walked along the riverbank and I was sad or I was lonely. I'm saying about my body language. But I think I could make this even better. I walked along the riverbank. I think I could add to that. Instead of saying walked, I wonder how I would walk if I was feeling really sad. How about I trudged along the riverbank? I trudged along the riverbank, comma, dragging my heavy, aching paws and my heavy, aching heart, with my tail drooping low and my head bowed against the wind. And even just that word there, I trudged along the riverbank instead of saying I walked along the riverbank, is much more effective. Because if we trudge, it means that we're really dragging our feet, feeling really fed up. Okay, so there's sentence 1. Sentence 2, onomatopoeia. So these are the words that sound like the thing they're describing. And because I've got my head bowed against the wind, I might add in a few words here. Crash went the thunder in the dark sky above. There we go. So there's the sound of the thunder. Roar went the wind as it howled around my ears. And there we go. Crash, roar. There's sentence 2. And sentence 3 is personification. On and on I dragged my poor, tired legs, following the racing river. So rivers don't really race, but that's personification. The racing river describes the waters moving fast, following the racing river as it overflowed with the lashing rain, trying to find somewhere to stay. I'm just going to reduce this box a little bit so you can see what I'm writing. Trying to find somewhere to stay. Somewhere, oops, spelling. Somewhere to call home. And there we go. There's the beginning of the story. I've got show not tell in my first sentence, onomatopoeia in my second sentence, and personification in my third. My personification is the lashing rain and the racing river. So how about this for a story starter then? I trudged along the riverbank, dragging my heavy, aching paws and my heavy, aching heart, with my tail drooping low and my head bowed against the wind. Crash went the thunder in the dark sky above. Roar went the wind as it howled around my ears. On and on I dragged my poor tired legs, following the racing river as it overflowed with the lashing rain, trying to find somewhere to stay, somewhere to call home. Okay, so hopefully that has modelled for you how you can include your examples of show not tell, onomatopoeia and personification. This is my example at the start of the story. See now if you can come up with your own. To help you, if you're struggling to find ideas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this page now and I'm going to block out some of the words. So you could even, I'll just go clone page, there we are. So what you could, if you wanted to, you could have a look at my example with the words missing here and see if you could add in some more of your words. There we go. I something along the riverbank. Something, my something aching paws and my heavy aching heart, with my something and my something against the something. So you could add in the rain or the wind or the storm. It's completely up to you. Okay, so onomatopoeia next. So again, you can think of your own words. And you could change this completely. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this is another guided example where you could fill in your own ideas, or it's completely up to you and you could just write the beginning of your story all on your own. Next week, we will carry on with the remaining plot points. If you want to use this to start off your story and then you want to carry on and write the whole thing yourself, that's fantastic. Alternatively, you can wait for my next film clip, which I will post for you on Monday, with the next plot point in the story. And I really look forward to seeing some of your writing posted on Class Dojo. Remember, if you want to share your work with other children in the class, if you email it to me directly and tell me that you want your class work posted on the class story, I would be more than happy to do that for you. Okay, thanks everybody, and I look forward to seeing your work soon.